eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Packing your kids back off to school? Here are some tips for packing their school lunch.
It can sometimes feel like a hassle, but a registered dietitian offers some simple advice on packing your child's school lunch. Think about it as food groups and break down what's to be included.
We want to have a grain. We want to have a protein. We want to have a fruit and a veggie. We want to have a healthy fat and or a dairy product as possible.
Cleveland Clinic dietitian Jennifer Hyland says for the younger kids just starting out for the first time having a full school day, it's a lot on them.
We need to make sure that we're giving them those nutrients to fuel them through the day. So we need protein, healthy fats. They need calcium. We want to make sure that they are getting energy, getting calories.
Hyland suggests making sure that whatever you pack for your child is easy to eat and open, ready to enjoy. Stephen Kaufman, CBS News.
And finally, an Italian porn website that posted doctored images of well-known women, including Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, has been taken down after a backlash from other female politicians.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine, nice conditions, and a bit more warmth with a high of 77, leading into a clear and cool night tonight, low 50. Tomorrow, Labor Day, brings sunshine, some clouds at times, and another high of 77 with clouds and sun for Tuesday, but another nice day with another high of 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Rob Fracks on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Good morning. It's your Pratt Pack for a Sunday, and right after CBS Radio News, we become a staple here on KDKA, the pioneer broadcasting station to the world. I was saddened yesterday to hear that CBS correspondent Mark Knoller has died at the age of 73. You know, I got to tell you, I have spent the majority of my life right here in the studio that is KDKA Radio. And on the weekends, it's always been CBS Radio News, and during the week, my evening show as well. Those voices have become familiar to me, kind of like the soundtrack of my life. And they're all good. I mean, that's why they're on the network, right? But there are certain people, men and women, who are an anchor or reporter that stand out. Look, I've often said I've worked with some of the greatest journalists that this business has ever created, especially here at KDKA Radio since the mid-'80s. Our newsroom has literally pumped out some of the most, incredibly talented individuals in the history of journalism, in my opinion. Rare voices, but that ability to write and that backstory to give you the facts. But those who really stand out are people like Mark Knoller. Mark Knoller covered the White House for many years, and his voice was so, distinct no matter where I was, whether I was here in Studio K at KDK Radio or driving around listening or at home where KDK Radio was always on in the background. I knew right away it was Mark Knoller, and my ears would perk up because it was important, because he was in that heartbeat of the nation's capital talking about issues that matter to us all. You know, it's hard to believe, 73, I never thought he was at that age, and obviously I've not heard him as much in recent years. But he is someone that when I saw that story on the CBS Evening Weekend News Update later in the evening on my social media platform as I was scrolling and already getting prepared for today's show, I just thought about all the years of late-breaking stories, just daily headlines, things that were going on with whatever the administration was that would give me the building block, the foundation to build my show. It was Mark Knoller. And whenever you would hear a CBS anchor throw it to him, no matter what you were doing, you really paid attention because he always brought his A game. You know, they say that time does stand still for no one, but when I think of the soundtrack of my life, people like Mark Knoller and Walter Cronkite and local people that I've worked with and watched and admired on KDKA television for years, they really have been the foundation in my life to give me the opportunity to do what I do every day, and that's broadcast. There's something magical about CBS Radio News and KDKA Radio, the stories that come to life through the airwaves. To this day, radio is still the theater of the mind, and no one gave it a better act 1, 2, and 3 throughout an incredible career than Mark Knoller. Thank you, sir, for keeping me and so many informed. You will be missed. So 10 of the 203 state house members voluntarily have had their paychecks held up during a 2-month Pennsylvania budget standoff and discussed with the process that has led to the overdue budget runs high in this small group. Government is so broken, said Republican Jill Cooper of Westmoreland County, Democratic Representative Frank Burns of Cambria County. Quote, there are a lot of political games being played. Both are among the 10 who have voluntarily had their paychecks suspended during the budget impasse. Now, according to the House Chief Clerk's Office, the 10 are Ms. Cooper, Mr. Burns, along with Representative Tim Brennan, a Democrat from Bucks County, Representative Jamie Flick, a Republican from Lycoming, along with Representative Tom Jones, Republican from Lancaster, Representative Brent Miller, Republican from Lancaster, Representative Brenda Pugh, a Republican from Lausanne, Representative Jeremy Schaefer, Republican from Allegheny, Representative Melissa Shoemasterman, a Democrat from Chester, and Representative Perry Warren, a Democrat from Bucks County. Let me applaud you, each and every one of you, for stepping up and saying, enough already. How much more has to be done before we have more people like this stepping up and speaking out to the point where if we can't get money into the hands of things such as transit, the hardworking people in that job that get people who are working hard to their job, and to schools where no one works harder than teachers and administrators throughout Western Pennsylvania, then why should we be able to get up every day knowing that the check's in the mail? I feel bad that it's gotten to this point, but what really upsets me when you look at all the incredible things that are on the doorstep and the chances and the ability for us to create things like right now in the present, and we're being held up by this budget, to me that makes no sense at all. It makes absolutely no sense at all. And it frustrates me even more to know that there's no end in sight. And here I am talking about what's going on in Washington, and I've said for the longest time, no matter what goes on in Washington, for the most part, you have to look at things that affect you where you live, your own backyard, your community, your neighbors, your family. And President Trump is doing a lot of things to help us, for sure. But this story is something that we all need to be concerned about, especially if we're dealing with, well, people that work in transit or need transit to get to their work, to take care of their family, or to help their community move forward. But especially the school teachers in Western Pennsylvania who, after this Labor Day holiday, it will be go time, nonstop for the next 9 months. Work that most of us couldn't even imagine. So I commend those who are saying, don't pay me, pay them. President Trump, in an interview with the Daily Caller, a conservative U.S. news site that was published yesterday, said he believed three-way talks involving Russian President Vladimir Putin, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and himself would still happen. After his separate meetings with Putin and Zelensky this month, Mr. Trump said he was arranging a face-to-face talk between the Russian and Ukrainian leaders, and then he might meet with the two if necessary. But the Daily Caller interviewed Trump. Well, he expressed less confidence that he will be able to arrange those bilateral talks between Zelensky and Putin. Yes, I understand why, because Vladimir Putin is continuing to kill, murder, and destroy the lives of innocent human beings who are just trying to get up like the rest of us and live their life. When this war broke out years ago, I knew that he would not stop, and it even meant continuing the fighting when there was no end in sight, just to keep his mission alive of thinking about Mother Russia, when in reality, he's thinking about lining his pockets with all of the rich agriculture and those earth minerals and all of the other things like natural gas that lie beneath the ground in Ukraine and the port of the Black Sea, so he can control what is going out to places around the world and continue to put that stranglehold on other parts of the world. This is an evil man who cares about nobody but himself. He doesn't even care about the Russian people, because if he did, he would be thinking about the mothers and fathers that continue to lose soldiers, thousands. I mean, in the month alone, last month, 20,000 Russian soldiers were killed. How many family members, how many communities, how many spouses, how many children does that affect? But it doesn't affect Vladimir Putin. He just continues with his killing field. And even when he is having talks with the president or saying he's interested in meeting Zelensky, he just keeps killing. Because this is what it is. It's cold-blooded, premeditated murder. Because he wants to show the rest of the world how tough he is, and he wants to flex his muscles. Well, believe me, that hidden enemy, the one that he doesn't see because his ego won't let him, I believe are the Russian people, who, like many, are starting to realize this war has no end in sight, and he is not even thinking for 1 minute about sitting down and having any peace talks with anyone, including the president, who is doing everything to save his country, Volodymyr Zelensky. And what will happen? The Russian people will eventually turn on him. The only Russian president to leave that office standing up was Mikhail Gorbachev, who got with Ronald Reagan and understood why working together would go a long way for both countries as opposed to trying to do it your own way. This war has to stop. The killing must stop. And if Putin has to be removed from office for it to be done, then so be it, because this violence has gone on way too long. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back on the other side. Lots to talk about. It's a Sunday morning Labor Day weekend with your Pratt Pack.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Country rap sensation Colt Ford takes the Wheeling Island showroom stage Saturday, September 27th. Doors open at 8 p.m. Show starts at 9 p.m. Tickets start at $25. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com or the front desk. One night only. Don't miss out. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Imagine growing up without seeing a ball game, visiting a museum, or exploring a zoo. For thousands of kids in our community, the cost of admission makes these experiences impossible. Tickets for Kids changes that. Donating tickets to under-resourced youth through schools and social service agencies. Give the gift of experience. Learn more at ticketsforkids.org.
Details at KDKARadio.com. News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations of Pittsburgh tradition. Bucks beat the Red Sox 10-3 the final. Two teams again today, 1:35. You can hear it on 93.7 The Fan. Duquesne had to travel only 3 miles to renew a crosstown football rivalry with Pitt that had been dormant for 86 years. Pitt's offense was largely dormant too until midway through the second quarter, but poured it on with points before halftime to take control before running away with the game 61-9. And that was the season opener for both teams at Acrisure Stadium. Penn State easy winners over Nevada, 46-11. Hey, number 1, no more. Texas and Arch Manning struggle as number 3 Ohio State beats the Longhorns 14-7. Rich Rodriguez debuts again for West Virginia as their head coach. They beat Robert Morris 45-3. Riverhounds lost to Tampa Bay 2-1. The U.S. Open continues in New York. Yesterday on the men's side, Jannik Sinner, world number 1, he advances. Today, Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic will play. Yesterday on the women's side, your winners, Swiatek, Goff, and Osaka. That now sets up a matchup in the round of 16 between Goff and Osaka. And also today in action, Pegula and an American who's having one whale of a tournament, Taylor Townsend. More sports at 937thefan.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Online security is a must, and millions are choosing NordVPN to stay safer and more private online. And you can do that too. Get NordVPN with 77% off and up to 3 months extra. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic from data snoopers and internet service providers, while NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro will reduce risk of phishing and alert you about the fake online shops and known scams. And that's not all. If your email address is leaked to the dark web, you will get an instant notification from the Dark Web Monitor and act accordingly. Get the special NordVPN deal today at nordvpn.com. This offer includes a 77% discount on a 2-year plan and up to 3 extra months. Savings and additional terms apply and can be found on nordvpn.com. The offer is valid until October 15th.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, as always, you can listen to us at 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDK or on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, but you can also watch us online with our KDK video stream presented by Metropolitan Window Company. Just go to kdkradio.com and click on Watch KDK Radio Livestream, or now you can just go to our KDK Radio YouTube page to watch everything we are doing in the studio. Hey, do you know someone in your community that has done some extraordinary things in the past year? Nominate them now, kdkradio.com, to be honored at this year's Larry's Hometown Hero event. One other thing before I get to the phones. This is, I don't know. I was going to maybe even try to get it into that first block as far as my opening monologues, but I wanted to kind of make it a little bit more personable. You know, I love Pittsburgh. I was actually in Pittsburgh last night. Greg Diolis' daughter, Hannah, married a young man, Trevor Jaworski. Just a wonderful evening. He and his wife, Pam. Beautiful William Penn Omni, downtown Pittsburgh, historic hotel. Had a chance to just really enjoy the ambiance, the grand ballroom on the 17th floor. No one does a better job. And if I were going to stay in Pittsburgh for any length of time, that's where I would be. The staff, second to none. But just being in the city, the heartbeat, walking through town, I just can't tell you how much I love Pittsburgh. I mean, I love this region. And, you know, we, for many years, we're downtown, the Golden Triangle. And I was telling Rob Taylor yesterday, I remember, you know, working all these different shifts and being in Pittsburgh at all hours of the day and night, and just loved every minute of it. But they, you know, be there with the buses and the taxis and the people walking and, you know, this wedding, everybody dressed up. It was just, and the history of Pittsburgh, how long some of these buildings have been around, like that hotel, was great. And Kennywood is such a beautiful part of everyone's life, including mine and my children when they were younger. So many broadcasts with that in Rainbow Machine, which was just this huge RV, in case you don't remember it, that we would roll out and do the Arts Festival, the Regatta, all those Christmas broadcasts in downtown Pittsburgh. I saw the Kaufman's Clock where that great Target store is now. And I was really thinking a lot about Pittsburgh. And I saw this story, and I looked at it, and I saw this story. So they've canceled a bunch of events because of the fighting. Listen, don't do that to me. Don't do that to Pittsburgh. Don't do that to the legacy of Kennywood. And where are the people responsible for these people, the parents? I mean, can I tell you something? If I was ever caught on video in an amusement park fighting with a group of people, my dad, he would have just blown his stack. I would have been afraid to go home. I would have been sleeping under the stars. I mean, when are we going to stop all of this craziness? What has happened in this country to where even a simple thing like going to Kennywood is destroyed because of just stupidity? I don't understand. I don't understand. So let me just get you caught up on the story. Kennywood is discontinuing 20+1 events as a result of the fights at the West Mifflin Amusement Park the past 2 Fridays. Kennywood has a zero-tolerance policy for this type of behavior, Kennywood General Manager Ricky Spaguzza said in a statement he emailed to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Anybody displaying unruly or disruptive behavior will be banned from the park. We are canceling the 21+ event at Kennywood effective immediately. Guests at the park and social media, a video indicated a fight occurred Friday night as the park remained open to adults from 7 p.m. to midnight for a special 21-plus event featuring alcohol sales and other attractions. Video also shows another fight between two women who are now banned from the park August 22nd, according to multiple media outlets. In 2024, a one-day 21-plus event was added to the park's calendar for the first time ahead of the annual Phantom Fall festivities. This year, the special event returned for 2 dates, August 22nd and 29th. No other 21-plus events appeared on the calendar for Kennywood previously released for the 25-26 year. As of Saturday morning, the 21-plus events page on Kennywood's website returns a 404 error. Kennywood officials declined requests for further information. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Look, at 20, I don't care if I was 25, 30. My dad sees something like that, I'm not going home. I mean, Kennywood is like the Holy Grail. It's sacred ground. It's ours. I mean, we're so fortunate to still have Kennywood when many of these great amusement parks have fallen to the wayside because of those juggernauts that are out there. And how fortunate that we are that the same company that owns Dollywood and Dolly Parton has done such an incredible thing down there in Pigeon Forge. And now we have a chance to really do some incredible things. And I know these people that work for this brand are some of the hardest working people in this region. It's frustrating to me to see this stuff happening. And I just, it exasperates me. I want to just scream. I mean, they're trying to do something. Look, one of the problems, and I'm going to get to all your calls. You just got to let me get this off my chest because it's been boiling, okay? I talk to people all the time, and I try to give young people a break, the benefit of the doubt, okay? The benefit of the doubt. And these are adults we're talking about, okay? These aren't kids, but to me, they're kids. They're adults, though, but they're kids. I say all the time, we got to give young people, because I was just telling Greg Finley before I went on the air today, the old Holiday Inn over the hill here, we went out dancing every night from the time I was like 21 till about 27, on and off, till I eventually would become a father and do what I do, right? But we were out every night. We were here every Sunday night. Never any trouble. Young people from all throughout the region. And we just danced. We danced every single night. And I've said for the longest time that young people need a place to go. We have to create places for them to go, a place to get to actually know each other, because we live in a world of technology now that a lot of young people don't even communicate with people visibly. It's all either by text, very little email, Snapchat. They use their social media platforms. They do not actually physically sit down and eye to eye. They Zoom, they do stuff like that, but physically sitting across from one another where they could actually reach out and shake someone's hand. No, they don't do it. So I think that's another problem with our society today, why we're heading in such a wrong direction, because we're not coming together in the right direction. So Kennywood does this, goes above and beyond trying. Yeah, they want to do business. I get that. But they're trying to do something because they realize that these young people are the same people who were like my children holding my hand when they came up to my, my waist. They were babies, and you would take them on these rides. You'd stand there and watch them go around as you're holding the souvenirs, getting them potato patch fries, cotton candy, and you're creating memories. So they're thinking, okay, let them come now as young adults, spend time, 21 plus, have a few adult beverages, listen to music, who knows, maybe fall in love and create a family of their own someday. It's the gift, Kennywood, that keeps on giving. But instead, you've got people fighting. I mean, we've dealt with this on the south side of Carson Street, and thank goodness it seems to be coming around, but it's on the verge of destroying one of the most historic parts of all of Pittsburgh. There's not a better stretch of roadway to have a good time when you bring people into town other than Carson Street. I mean, we have seen so many things ripped from us. As I was in downtown last night, I was just driving around the Golden Triangle and up Liberty Avenue and, weaving in and out of those streets. And I just thought, boy, it feels so electric to be back in the city and walking through that hotel and just the marble floors and live music in the background. It's fantastic. We have to stop the madness. Somebody's got to be responsible. And look, when I was in my early 20s, I still answered to my dad because there were different times I was living under his roof. But if I wasn't, if my dad called me and he said, enough, it was enough. I don't understand who's minding the store, who is looking out for these young people, or at least telling these young adults, stop this crazy behavior. Don't blame it on anything other than it being wrong. But what they don't understand, you are ruining it for everyone. But what you're doing, you're just destroying it for everyone. You're ruining it. You're making it just a horrible situation for everyone. Anyway, we'll take your calls on the other side. I just had to get that off my chest. 866-391-1020. Good morning.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Do you consider someone in our Pittsburgh area a hero? A hero can be your neighbor, a teacher, a church leader, or even your parent. Someone who has done something extraordinary. Once again, KDKA Radio needs your help as we honor 5 local heroes in our community. Nominate your hero for Larry Richards' Hometown Heroes event at kdkaradio.com. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
CBS News Brief. Chicago's Democrat mayor warns his city to brace for an influx of federal immigration agents.
We have received credible reports that we have days, not weeks, before our city sees some type of militarized activity by the federal government.
Mayor Brandon Johnson's urging the ICE or other federal agents to wear name tags and body cameras, and he's instructed Chicago police not to cooperate. Chinese President Xi Jinping is hosting 20 Asia-Pacific leaders, including Russian President Putin and Indian Prime Minister Modi, at a major security conference. The BBC's Stephen McDonald tells us he's deliberately filling a space created by America's retreat from the world stage.
There he is, showing off Beijing's role on the world stage as a kind of peacemaker, as a provider of stability in an uncertain world.
And did you win big last night?
We have 3. Your next number up is 30.
And no one matched all 6 Powerball numbers. The jackpot in tomorrow's draw now up to $1.1 billion. CBS News Brief, I'm Vicki Barker.
Join Rob Pratt every Sunday at 11 a.m. for Black and Gold Sunday, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer. Rob keeps you posted on Pittsburgh sports with 2 hours of exciting talk. That's Black and Gold Sunday, 11 to 1, presented each week by Coons Market.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor.
Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a bit more warmth for the middle day of this long holiday weekend with sunshine at a high of 77, with a cool night tonight under a clear sky and a low of 50. Tomorrow, Labor Day, brings just a few clouds through the day and another high of 77 ahead of a nice Tuesday with clouds and sun, a third high of 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, long weekend, so enjoy it. We'll be back on Tuesday, right here, KDKA, Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6.
All right. Don't forget, phone number is 866-391-1020. But NASCO Roofing instant access to our shows is a click away. Email us at instantacess@kdkradio.com. Listen, it's ruined. It's ruined. That 21 plus event ruined because of this just foolishness. It's sickening. All right, here's Anthony in Oakland. Anthony, good morning. Welcome to KDK. How are you? Good to have you on the air today.
What's so disgusting is that the people who had nothing to do with it have to suffer.
Yep,
because of the actions of a few.
That's it.
And look, what we have seen here from what's happened to our generation is a complete disintegration of morals and values and the knowing the difference between right and wrong. And there's no consequences any longer. I mean, I heard the Kennywood management say that these people were banned for life, but they should have been arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, one time it happens, it's an anomaly. Now, if it happens twice, it's a pattern. So now you have people whose main intention are just to come out and cause problems. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in today. You see it on the internet. It doesn't matter the age of the people. It's just a complete disintegration of morals, values, and conscience. I'm not shocked.
Listen, even if they are in their 20s, where's the parents? Where's the grandparents? I mean, my grandmother, she would have just grabbed me around the neck. I mean, I just can't believe that they get away with this and they go home and somebody's protecting them. I mean, you should be saying, you know what? You're going to have to do some volunteer work or whatever. Even if you didn't get prosecuted, you just embarrassed the entire family. I mean, this video is going to be out there forever. People know who did this. They know who did this. And it was probably over nothing at all. Just senseless jealousy. It probably was a stupid reason anyway. And just to have the courage to be able to do something thinking you're going to be able to get away with that when cameras are everywhere. And you've got so many employees there where this thing could have gotten really ugly. I mean, it's just a bad example of where we are in our society today. Just a bad example.
Not only the cameras that are stationed at the facility,
phones,
but you have the morons who are showing it on their own personal videos and putting it out. And you have people saying that the management of Kennywood is wrong for barring them. So this is the world. See, you and I grew up from people who had my grandparents or great-grandparents who were still living from World War I, World War II, the Depression, Korea. They had morals, they had values, they had conscience, and they passed that on to us. But so we were told if you were going downtown, you had to be dressed. And if you did anything wrong, they weren't going to believe you. They were going to believe the adults who came back and told them. You don't have that anymore. You have generations who ignore those things and think that they're still teenagers.
I mean, doesn't anybody just go on a date anymore, hold hands, have a good time, and come home? I mean, this stuff is all too frequent. And of all places, Kennywood, where you should be joyful. Every time I walk through that little tunnel, even as an adult, an old adult, I get exhilarated. We're so lucky to have it. And they were look, they won business. I get it. But they were trying to give people in their 20s something to do other than just the norm. And they screwed it up. Screwed it up.
Yes, they did. And see, remember back in our day, once Labor Day was over, Kennywood was closed.
Yes,
that was it.
Done.
It was gone. See you next spring. So now they're trying to make money in other ways and trying to be an entertainment venue, but you're always going to have a segment of hooligans and morons who are just going to they can't live like the rest of us. They're just not normal people. And that's. But in a free society, you're going to have those groups, but we shouldn't all have to be punished. Rob, see you later, buddy.
All right, man. See you later. 866-391-1020. And here's what my mother would say. Men are knuckleheads, but women behaving like this. I mean, that's what she would say. I'm just saying anybody. And when you're that age, you should know better. Look, when you're in a crowd like that, and look, I know where I was at that age, and, you get a couple of beers in you, and I get it. But you also have to learn to be able to walk away. And honestly, being banned from Kennywood for life, that would have crushed me. I mean, most of the joy that I've had in my life, especially when my kids were smaller. And what happens when these people grow up, literally grow up, figuratively, emotionally, mentally, and maybe even spiritually, and realize, that was just stupid behavior, and they start having kids of their own, and they want to go to Kennywood, and guess what? You're not coming to Kennywood. And then you got to explain to your kid why you're not going to Kennywood. All right, here's Ted, Mount Washington. Teddy Ballgame. Good morning, sir.
What's going on, Ron?
All I know is if I would have been caught on video fighting at Kennywood, my grandmother would have thrown the first meatball at me when I walked in for Sunday dinner. Oh, I can't. I would have been so afraid of my dad, I would have never probably gone home for days.
You mentioned it, Dad. Dad is not in the house anymore.
Nope.
Unfortunately. But I applaud what Kennywood did. Punish them all. Your excuses are your own. And they should have did it. Anytime when you have alcohol, young people, social media, cell phones, you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems.
Sometimes, listen, I love my cell phone. I love it. I can't even imagine my life without it. But it's like a chainsaw. You use it the wrong way, it can hurt you. But I don't know what in the world these young people are thinking. And to me, they are kids and they are young people, and they should be able to have an adult beverage or two and go home. We did it all the time. Honestly, I think in all the years that I went out, I can only think of a couple of fights that actually broke out. Couple.
Yeah, but see, you're talking about society that doesn't do FaceTime anymore. There's no really interaction, or they don't know how to interact.
Do me a favor. Stay there, because I got to get Mary Hours on, because she's got to get on television, and I'll come right back to you, Ted. Mary Hours, First Alert Forecast. Good morning. Happy Labor Day weekend.
Good morning. Happy Labor Day weekend. I'm back with you for a while.
All right. That's what I like to hear. All right.
I know. I'm so excited.
Listen, I have a code. If anybody's watching the YouTube channel or that Metropolitan Window video screen, KDKRadio.com, KDK Watch, that I've been waiting to break out because it's kind of one of my favorite fall coats, but I had to break it out today. I was up on the treadmill freezing this morning. Now I hear it could actually warm up a little. Is that a fact or not?
Oh, yeah. We're warming back up to average. I mean, we've had some pretty chilly mornings in the 40s. So far this morning, there's some areas that ended up into the low to mid 40s. So we have temperatures getting back to about 80 degrees for Monday. So today it's upper 70s, still a little below average, mostly sunny. But Monday, Tuesday, 80 degrees, which is exactly where our high should be. Our lows get a little bit better. And then we do have some much needed rain that's going to be moving in Wednesday. And then Thursday, some scattered showers and storms. But then it gets really chilly where highs, again, are only in the upper 60s.
Very quickly, before you go, so you being a Lincoln Park School of Performing Arts graduate, so I had a chance on Turner Classic Movies, which I plug in from time to time. I watch Guys and Dolls, obviously, from the 50s with Sinatra and, of course, Gene Simmons and Marlon Brando. I see Lincoln Park in the early October session for another play. They're going to be putting on Guys and Dolls. But this is the coolest thing. So I'm at the William Penn downtown last night at a wedding, and I come out waiting for the ride, and I look across the street. Lincoln Park is actually putting billboards up in downtown Pittsburgh to promote what they're doing on stage in Midland. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
No way. That is amazing.
Yeah, man.
I feel like when I was in high school, we didn't have that.
No, but I'm thinking to myself, I may have to go down there and check out Guys and Dolls. But as soon as I saw you call in today, I said, I got to tell Mary this, because I'm literally standing there on 6th Street, and I'm like, that absolutely is awesome. So I just thought I'd share that. Family good? Everybody good?
Everyone's good. Last night, I sang the national anthem at the Savannah Bananas game.
Hey, wait a minute. You've got to talk. I saw them, I think it was the Clementi Bridge, this giant it was like incredible sing-along. These guys are incredible.
They are. I mean, they are so amazing. Like their backflips and catching the balls, they were so awesome. I got to like be in the dugout for like a half hour before I sang, and they're just praying together, having fun together. Regular guys doing their jobs, but also it's like my husband was standing there with me. He was like, "How cool is that they get paid to do this?" And I was like, "I know, it's so cool." And I mean, like there was nonstop entertainment the whole entire time, and they just it was fantastic.
Well, it looked fantastic. And here's the thing. It was a sea of people on the Clemente Bridge. A sea of people. Listen, I was in downtown last night, and I actually got driven in because I knew because you had the Rib Fest, you had all sorts of things going on. And everybody said ahead of time, Rob, this Savannah Banana thing, you're going to have a hard time to park. I'm like, I know, because I've been following them for a while. It did not disappoint. I mean, you couldn't find a place to park. Hotels were jammed. I haven't seen that many people in downtown Pittsburgh, and I can't remember.
Right. Yeah. Thank goodness I have, the underground pass at KDKA for the weekend that I use. But to get in, I mean, it was crazy. We did sit in traffic for probably 10 minutes more than normal. But then we just walked over. But the part, you had to scan your tickets in on the bridge. So you couldn't even get into the bridge if you were just somebody who didn't have a ticket. That's where the show and party started. It was crazy.
Well, it's some really cool stuff. All right, before you go, first alert, 5-day forecast. What are we looking at?
All right, today mostly sunny, upper 70s. Tomorrow, it's a really nice Labor Day, 80 degrees. 80 degrees again Tuesday, so you maybe have 2 more days to get those pool days in. And then we do have some scattered showers. Wednesday, upper 70s. Our lows are back in the upper 50s, low 60s. Thursday, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Doesn't look like anything severe. We're in the low 70s. And it gets chilly next weekend.
Listen, always good to catch up with you. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy your holiday weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right, Mary Hours. Man, I'm telling you, that Savannah Banana thing, I absolutely love it. And if you... I'll talk to Ted about this on the other side because he'll appreciate it. So we'll come back. Stay with you. Stay with us. It's your Pratt Pack today, KDKA.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA. News Radio KDKA. Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations of Pittsburgh tradition. Bucks beat the Red Sox 10-3 the final. 2 teams again today, 1:35. You can hear it on 93.7 The Fan. Duquesne had to travel only 3 miles to renew a crosstown football rivalry with Pitt that had been dormant for 86 years. Pitt's offense was largely dormant too until midway through the second quarter, but poured it on with points before halftime to take control before running away with the game 61-9. And that was the season opener for both teams at Acrisure Stadium. Penn State easy winners over Nevada, 46-11. Hey, number 1, no more. Texas and Arch Manning struggle as number 3 Ohio State beats the Longhorns 14-7. Rich Rodriguez debuts again for West Virginia as their head coach. They beat Robert Morris 45-3. Riverhounds lost to Tampa Bay 2-1. The U.S. Open continues in New York. Yesterday on the men's side, Jannik Sinner, world number 1. He advances today. Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic will play. Yesterday on the women's side, your winners, Swiatek, Goff, and Osaka. That now sets up a matchup in the round of 16 between Goff and Osaka. And also today in action, Pegula and an American who's having one whale of a tournament, Taylor Townsend. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Hey folks, NASCO Roofing, the region's roofing leader, continues to exceed customer expectations. Carol from Pittsburgh praised NASCO Roofing for their quality workmanship and the timely manner NASCO completed her new roof. She loved how friendly and easy NASCO Roofing was to work with. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Carol. Get NASCO on your roof next. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing, NASCO.
At Tax Relief Advocates, we get it. Thinking about back taxes to the IRS can be very unsettling. Don't lose hope. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, TRA is resolving taxpayers' delinquent tax problems nationwide once and for all. We could significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe the IRS. If you haven't filed your taxes in years or are already facing collections, we can help. We aren't just some run-of-the-mill tax service company. We specialize in helping individuals and businesses with $10, $50, or even $500,000 in back taxes get speedy resolution. And in many cases, only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. The IRS isn't going anywhere, and neither is your tax problem. To see what tax relief you qualify for, visit TRA.com or call 800-335-8578. 800-335-8578. Again, that's 800-335-8578. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, I got to get back to Ted. He was nice enough to let me put him on hold so I could get caught up with Mary Hours. Ted, before we pick up with what you want to discuss, this Savannah Bananas thing, and a lot of people are so impressed by it, but I've seen it before, and I'm going to bring something up that you're definitely going to be able to relate to because we're the same age or close to it. 1976, a couple of my favorite actors, Billy D. Williams, along with James Earl Jones and the great Richard Pryor, were in a movie called The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. Basically the same premise, but they were barnstorming the South as what the Savannah Bananas do. Did you see that movie? You've ever seen that movie?
Man, you got a great memory.
Listen.
Oh, yeah, long time ago.
Oh, I'm telling you,
that's going back.
It's exactly what the Savannah Bananas are doing today. And I mean, I saw that as a kid, like 18, 19 years of age. I fell in love with it immediately. And if anybody who went there and enjoyed the weekend with them, if you get a chance, sit the kids down, watch that movie. You're going to absolutely embrace it. It's a great movie. But anyway.
To me, Savannah is like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. That's a perfect analogy. And Meadowlark Lemon and Curly and all the. I mean, I loved. And you know who else was Will Chamberlain was a member of the Harlem Globetrotters for a while. Loved the Harlem Globetrotters. Okay, what's on your mind today?
Yeah, real quick. I'm glad you brought up the state budget. You're right on point. It's outrageous.
It's crazy.
Absolutely outrageous. And from what I'm hearing, these guys are stuck on marijuana. They want the cash revenue for it. They want to legalize marijuana. I mean, that to me, that's ridiculous. It's small potatoes. You know, you can get this budget done. Both sides have to give something and get it done. Because guess what? You got next year. You have to do the same thing. I'm really disappointed at Shapiro. I really am. He's just not a deal maker. And this is going to hurt him. It's really going to hurt him because, like I said before, it just shows he can't govern. And I hate to say that, but you're right. We're taxpayers. We should not be paying for this buffoonery. And these lawmakers get paid, regardless of what happened. They go home, collect the paychecks, while hard workers are worrying about their jobs. It's completely outrageous. It's not fair. And it shows why people lose faith in their government.
Well, here's the thing. If they who are going to help him try to achieve getting reelected as governor do not think that this is going to hurt him, they don't know politics. I mean, and you saw how many Republicans in that list are saying, we don't want paid. If this thing takes off and you've got people even more so jumping on in the days and weeks to come and we still have no budget, it's going to really make him look bad. It's his job to bring people together. That's why he's the governor. And I like Governor Shapiro. I've already said if he's the presidential candidate, I'm going to vote. More than likely, the governor's race, going to vote for him. But he's got to get this fixed. This has to be a top priority for him.
Well, he better turn to Ed Rendell. Okay.
I mean, yeah, make the call. Make the call.
He better turn to Ed Rendell. He better get a deal done. You know, and to me, it's like I said before, you know, legalize marijuana. Look, I think it's horrible. I think it's something that, look, hey, I think we will be a great state without it. If they're stuck on that, let it go. Think about next year. It's not worth it.
I mean, so what are we going to do? Not close the budget and then be worrying about the next year's budget when all these people lose funding, jobs, and then transit affected, you can't get people to their jobs. Listen, we're going to spiral out of control. Pennsylvania, when the Pond and U.S. Steel went down, all these AI centers and the natural gas and the billions, the energy summit, all this energy, and the entire country depending on us. now they're going to screw it up over this budget. And you've got teachers that have no supplies, have no resources. I mean, don't they realize what they're doing? The grip that they have put on Pennsylvania, especially with transit. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, you've got to fund transit. You take regional transit away, talk about gridlock. It's over.
Well, it makes us look like a fool. I mean, and Pittsburgh's trying to be a major city in a sense. You're trying to host a draft. Give me a break. It's going to be a joke. We're not prepared.
I'm
sorry. I hate to say that. We don't have leaders anymore. We got buffoons.
Listen, when you have 10 people say, I don't want paid, I mean, everybody wants to get paid. But they realize that if they don't do something bold, their chances of getting reelected are slim to none. You don't think constituents in Pennsylvania are out there working every day, breaking their back to go to work to make ends meet, or wondering if that bus is going to be there the next day? A teacher wondering if their classroom is going to have what they need as they're officially going to be starting a new school year, even though they've started a couple of days. Once Labor Day comes and it's in the rearview mirror, it's full throttle. And you have these administrations, and many of these schools are on fumes now because they're not even graduating 50 kids. I mean, what do they think is going to happen here? Look, if there's dramatics involved here, okay, we've had enough. Let's get the thing done. Let's shoot the winning shot at the buzzer, and let's get this thing behind us. There's so much work to be done in Pennsylvania, good work, that it's all being stalled out because of this nonsense.
I agree with you. And you know what? I hope whoever runs against Shapiro uses this as a campaign ad.
Listen.
They're probably going to win.
Stacey
They're
Garrity.
probably going to win.
Stacey Garrity, remember the name. I'm telling you, she is going to make a lot of people really question whether or not Josh Shapiro should have 4 more years. And I'm a Democrat, but this is another example of things not looking good for my party. And it frustrates me because I see star power with Josh Shapiro. I see the ability. And now with Gavin Newsom, this latest information coming out about how he's kind of becoming the poster child, if you will, for the Democratic Party. In California, you got a lot of deep pockets out there as far as funding is concerned. He's going to have to right the ship here. And I promise you, if the president gets in on this, and he hears about that these 10, most of them Republicans, are not taking a paycheck, and he starts promoting Stacey Garrity, I'm telling you, all bets are off. Remember where you heard it.
Oh, I agree with you. Hey, what did Trump bring to the table? Common sense. Okay? We don't have common sense anymore.
Listen, everything he does, even though he can be a bit of a knucklehead, as I am at times, and he says things before he thinks, he's really becoming framed up, buttoned up. He's letting people like Pam Bondi and Carolyn Levitt handle all the heavy lifting. He's surrounding himself with his grandkids. He's doing a lot of good social media stuff. He's boxed in as far as his content is concerned. He's not ruining anything when it comes to his administration's plans on getting things done. And you look at the box, you connect all the dots, every single corner, everything goes to the middle about putting in the box as far as the economy, patriotism, brick and mortar, as far as rebuilding America, helping families regroup, build better lives in neighborhoods and communities, large and small, protecting major cities. And that mayor in Chicago who's telling him, no, 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 that's like throwing gasoline on a fire. I promise you, one of the first things the president's going to be talking about at the breakfast table today, how dare that mayor say that? I'm telling you right now, he's putting the National Guard in Chicago, and they're going to go in New York. Every single statistic, no matter what the pundits tell you, if you do the really deep dive, the crime numbers are down in the nation's capital since he put those boots on the ground. And this is going to become a blueprint for the rest of the country. Remember where you heard it, Ted.
Well, I hear you on that. The only thing I disagree, why will a president help a failed government? I just think the job is so complicated. A president has more to worry about than what's going on in a failed city.
You're right. You're absolutely right on that. Thank you for the call. I got to get to the news. David Bollerado in with the latest at 6. Then it's Tech Vibe Radio, and then we're going to be back with you at 7 o'clock. We'll begin our Pittsburgh Works programming. But I agree with you on that. But it's gotten so far out of control, it's the underbelly. When these major cities start to fail, then it always affects the nation's capital. And one or two here or there, short period of time, okay. But now it's become an ongoing thing. It's happening in New York. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Philly. It's happening in Pittsburgh. It's happening in Los Angeles. And he just has said, look, if you can't fix it, I will. All right, news coming up. Much more throughout the week. We're with you as well, 6 to 10, KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
One of the hot spots in the city has always been the South Side. And Pittsburgh City Councilman Bob Jarlin with us from District 3.
A lot to be proud of so far this year, especially in short time. We've got 24 new businesses that have signed leases on East Carson Street. Just last week we had kind of the first yard sale.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Who are the youth who lead with purpose, innovate with passion, and inspire everyone in your community? Junior Achievement in Western Pennsylvania is searching for their next class of exceptional young leaders for JA's 18 Under 18. Presented by the EQT Foundation. Know a young person who is making an impact? Nominations are open for the 2026 class, ages 18 years or younger. Submit your nomination by September 30th to see them honored on February 3rd, 2026 at Acrisure Stadium. Nominate a young leader today at jawesternpa.org.
Tune in to 1020 KDKA Radio for Medical Frontiers with Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer from the Allegheny Health Network every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Dr. Pfeiffer and his special guests will cover the information that you want to know about your health and the latest trends in medicine.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 51 degrees at Pittsburgh International. At 6 o'clock, I'm David Ballarado. A man and a woman are facing a host of charges, including child endangerment, after police responding to a domestic call say they found children in their home living in deplorable conditions. Police say Edward Wilson, who is now in the county jail, and Tiffany Bates, who is still at large, had 3 children, one without clothes on, when they arrived in terrible conditions to their Mount Pleasant Road home. Police say the floor had feces and rotten food on it, along with bugs, stained mattresses, and they say there was no food at all in the refrigerator. Over 21 nights at Kennywood are over. The park is ending the nighttime events that were designed to provide a unique experience for adults after yet another fight took place Friday night. Video of that incident quickly went viral. John Sapinski of Cannonsburg was at the 21-plus night and tells KDKA-TV he left around 10:50 before the fighting broke out.
And it got more crowded. People had more drinks. People got a little bit more rambunctious. The smell of marijuana was everywhere in the park by that point.
Kennywood says the 2 women who were involved in the fight last weekend have been permanently banned. Still no arrests have been reported following a deadly shooting last week in Rankin, but the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office has now released the name of the shooting victim. 22-year-old Roselle Shelton was pronounced dead Thursday at UPMC Mercy after he'd been shot a little after 3 p.m. that day at the corner of Oakway and Duquesne Street. Police ask anyone with information in the case to call their anonymous tip line at 1-833-ALL-TIPS. Mass was held last night at Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis for the first time since a shooting at its adjacent school on Wednesday claimed the lives of 2 children. CBS News Minnesota's Ashley Grams reports.
For days, mourners have gathered in grief, bringing flowers and candles to Annunciation Catholic Church and school. Father Dennis Zarin was presiding over Mass.
It's a difficult memory, and it was loud. It just kept coming.
And Saturday night, Father Zarin gathered his parish for Mass for the first time since the attack.
Since Christ is Lord of heaven and earth.
Sharing a message of hope.
Watch for that light that will scatter every darkness.
You heard him report from the White House and from around the world on the CBS News radio network for more than 30 years. CBS News White House correspondent Mark Knoller has died. That story from CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz.
Mark became known as an unofficial presidential historian and statistician, carefully keeping track of every move the 8 presidents he covered made. He was uncommonly generous about sharing his vast trove of information with other journalists and with the world. CBS News contributor Peter Mayer had known Mark since Jimmy Carter was president.
He was often the first reporter into the White House and the last one out long after the lights were turned off in other offices.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
Mark Knoller died Saturday in Washington. The cause of death was not disclosed, but he had suffered from diabetes and had been in ill health. He was 73. Amid threats from President Trump about sending troops and federal agents to Chicago, Democratic Mayor Brandon Johnson says the city will pursue all available legal and legislative avenues to counter coordinated efforts from the federal government that would violate the rights of the city and its residents. His words. He signed an executive order Saturday.
He could reverse course. In fact, I encourage him to do that. But still, we take these threats seriously, and we find ourselves in a position where we must take immediate, drastic action to protect our people from federal overreach.
KDKA Sports, O'Neill Cruz homered, and Brian Reynolds drove in 2 runs, and the Pirates beat the Boston Red Sox 10-3. Rob Pratt has more coming up. It's 6:03. The AccuWeather forecast is next.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob! I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings sunshine, nice conditions, and a bit more warmth with a high of 77, leading into a clear and cool night tonight, low 50. Tomorrow, Labor Day, brings sunshine, some clouds at times, and another high of 77, with clouds and sun for Tuesday, but another nice day with another high of 77. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 51 degrees. KDK Radio.